Well, death and funerals used to be topics that we just didn't talk about, but things are changing. Adam Crapsi joins us now from Affordable Burial and Cremation. And we were talking before, like, I don't remember the last death that I went to, or a funeral that I went to, where you had the typical 1 or 2 days of visitation, and then the viewings, and then the church service, and then going out to the cemetery. I don't remember the last one I went to.
Well, trends are really changing now in funeral service. The past 10, 15, 20 years, people have been gravitating much more towards cremation and affordable burial and cremation options.
Right. Because a friend of mine passed away before Christmas time, actually, and her family didn't even have what they call a celebration of life. We had a party.
And that also,
and there was,
absolutely.
We had pictures of her and everything, and just talked about her and at one of her favorite places, and that's kind of the trend, right, where people are moving to.
Well, the consumer has really taken funeral services in a completely different direction by deciding more of how they want to remember the individual and how they want to celebrate their life. And now more than ever, they're kind of transitioning to more of an affordable option, such as cremation, and looking for a simple cremation, and then following that cremation, having a service that remembers their loved one how they want to by, like you mentioned, having a big party.
Right.
Whether or not the person's present or not, they're still celebrating the person's life, and they're doing it on their terms.
Right. And I wonder if in the past it was just kind of like, well, that's what you did for a funeral. But now there are more options.
There are. Before, it was just strictly, hey, you call the funeral home, we're having the traditional visitation, followed by the service, as you mentioned. And now people are saying, well, we don't really have to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if someone does have a death in the family, then so what do? You call and do you take care of, like, transportation of the body, things you don't think of until it happens, right?
Exactly. We do everything that the funeral home typically would have, as people would remember them doing in the past. It just takes one phone call. They can call us. There's no need to call a funeral home. We look after everything from the time a person passes away to returning your loved one to you. So, like I said, there's no need to call a funeral home that people would have perhaps done in the past. We facilitate everything from the time a person passes to bringing them into our care and ensuring we get them to the crematorium, and then, as I mentioned, returning your loved one to you. And that way you can remember them as you'd like to by having a party, having a celebration of life, having it, whether it's at a hall or a reception center.
Or even at a home. Right?
You can do it in your home as well. I mean, when the nice weather finally gets back to us, you can set up your backyard, you can have hors d'oeuvres, you can have friends and family, invite them over, and that way you're remembering them, comfort of your own home. That is certainly an option that people we see are transitioning towards as time has gone on.
Right. When your company kind of first started, it was kind of groundbreaking that way, wasn't it? Where it was like, whoa, I don't know if I could do that. That's not a funeral, right?
Yeah, very much so. People said, well, what are you guys about? The name Affordable Burial and Cremations, you didn't have funeral home after the name. So it was a little bit of a shaking up the system, shaking up the establishment.
You do have a showroom.
We do. We have a fantastic showroom where we have a phenomenal selection of urns on display. We have all kinds of urns, from the very urny-like urns that are very... You know
like
what they
this
are.
One here.
Yeah,
like this one. That's an urn. You look
know
at
exactly
it, you think
what
that's
it
an
is.
urn. Yes.
We have other options as well, like the Cuddle Bear that comes in pink and blue. We have the Butterfly, which comes in pink and blue. We have the motorcycle and the detail in the motorcycle, the full size and the keepsake. The detail's outstanding compared to how they used to be. We have the Weeping Angel, and we even have the Fisherman keepsake. That urn that you touched right there, that's a biodegradable urn. Eco-friendly. The families that are coming in looking for more eco-friendly, earth-friendly options, they want to be more environmentally conscious, as well as this urn right here. This is a biodegradable urn as well.
Oh, you know what? I thought it was ceramic.
No.
It's just paper.
It's paper, and that you can put the ashes in there, and you can set it out into the water, and it just goes off into the distance, and then gradually submerges underneath.
Go. Lots of different options.
Absolutely.
Adam, thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Annette.